Hi, welcome to this new video dedicated to the Tarot TL130H1. It's nothing else than a very compact brushless 130mm brushless quadcopter coming in RLTF model. It means that you will have to give your own receiver, your own LiPo battery, and of course your transmitter. So it comes in this very compact box, I guess the same and sharing for the 150mm model as well the 120, even smaller. So it's a very compact box. Okay, so you can find on the back side the different parameters. For example, all this quadcopter from the 120 to the 150 comes with the 3 milliwatts 5.8 GHz video transmitter. Okay, here for example some 6A ampere ESC, no information about the top peak supported by this ESC, and if they are a one-shot 125 compatible. And the flight controller is actually written to be a standard TL130H, but the good news, it will be compatible. It's compatible with Clean Flight. It's nothing else. That's a variant of the NACE 32. That's pretty good. Okay, but they advise to give your own receiver, and by default is configured with S-Bus receiver. Okay, but you can, if you want, install a CPPM one. Is not a problem. So what you will find in this box? Let's open it. The instruction manual. Okay, just one unique piece of papers. Okay, both in English and Chinese. So here is the command, so the diagram of the flying controlling board, and well, on the top of it you will find the FPV connection and the LEDs, mini camera and the central, FPV to the more the right and the LEDs on the left, and on the rear side of the FC you will find more the receiver connection. Okay, for example, the central one connector is for the CPPM, and the right one for the default one is the S-Bus. Okay, you have also another port to configure some LEDs. On the right side, and you will be able to find BMW connection, and very close to it and very close to the standoff, you will find the an interface port to plug to your computers. Okay, so let's also discover the rest of the content. A bag with some accessories, a bag with some 30-20 props. Okay, they have to be attached thanks to some nuts and screws. I'm not a great fan of them. They are very breakable. And here is the beauty, the Tarot itself. I already installed the battery strap on it, but it comes with a GST connector, and this ESC can support, I hope you can see, up to a 3S LiPo battery. That's pretty good. They are announced to have a BLE firmware, 6 ampere, okay, I guess 10 in a peak. They are installed directly on each arm, and well, the first impression, it's quite solid, and I will give you immediately the thickness of each arm, more or less. So the main arms are 2 millimeters, if I'm not wrong. Okay, let's pick. Oh. Reboot. So they are 2 millimeters arm. It's pretty good. Okay, and the lower plate is 2 millimeters too, and the upper plate is 1.5 millimeters, if I'm not wrong. Okay, 1.5. So it's pretty solid, and in terms of weight, without props and without the battery, etc., this quadcopter weighs something like 84 grams. In terms of comparison, here is the Alcatel 120, a little bit smaller in terms of dimension, okay, but more are also less powerful, and this model only can be powered only in 2S configuration. But this is one of the lightest brushless quadcopter available. This one comes with the cloverleaf antenna, and the Tarot comes with this small 5.8 GHz linear antenna. So in terms of description. Okay, if I can continue. Here you can find the video transmitter where the antenna is directly soldered on the rear part of the FPV transmitter. It's a 300 milliwatts, as I said, and you have a 5 position deep switch to select both the frequencies and the frequency band. On the bottom of the video transmitter you can find the flying contouring board. So as I said, it's an A32 based compatible one, okay, and the wires to go to each ESC. And on the rear side you can find this servo plug, and by default, I hope you can see, it's attached to the right port, which is the S-bus port. So if you plan to install a CPPM, you have to connect this cable to the central one. On the right side, here is the PMW, okay, to attach to your PMW receiver, but I don't think it's very useful. I would say a small problem with this model. Here you have a standoff, and just behind the standoff you have the connector to be used to connect this machine to the PC. So it means that each time you want to configure something in CleanFlight, you will have to remove the standoff. Okay, so it's a little bit annoying. It's M2 screw, X screw. It's nothing complicated to remove, but you have to do. On the front side, here is the FPV camera. Good news, you can set the orientation. Okay, give up to 15, maybe 20 degrees of positive angle. Is good for aggressive flying. Maybe could be a little bit more. Okay, and this one comes with a 120 or 40 field of view lens. Okay, motors are classic 1104, announced to spin at 4000 kV. Okay, and I think for the total weights they are well equilibrated in terms of power, and I remind this machine can be powered in 3S configuration. So it's a pretty cool design, and the good news, if you have, for example, a FierceSky receiver, you insert it to the rear part. It's possible. Okay, it's not really a big problem to insert and to use, for example, a D4R2 receiver. It can be installed rear without any big problem. That's a pretty good news. It can be inserted. So with this one you can have a super range, but some other type of CPPM receiver can be used, such this kind of Urange RX 616XN. Okay, it's a CPPM receiver working with DSMX protocol, so it's 1 gram, and now you have also some new 1 gram FierceSky receiver also announced, so it's pretty good for this kind of machine. So on top of it you will be able to install your battery. No battery was provided. I advise something between 3 to 500 milliamps power 3S LiPo maximum. There is not a lot of choice with such a low capacity in 3S, but you can find some. Okay, so the general comment about this unboxing and quick analysis. The first thing is the solidity of this frame. Sounds pretty solid, much more, for example, than the L4. You can look the difference in size of arms, so it's pretty obvious that this one will be much more solid. The camera is well protected. Okay, even if the it's announced to be 420 TVL only, but if the light sensitivity is good, so it's not a big drama. No OSD inside, well, I think, and small details. You have a small burner, if I'm not wrong. That's pretty good. It's very important stuff, especially if it can be very easily lost. Okay, into the high herbs on the grass. So it's pretty obvious that it's important. So have to be configured through the CleanFlight, okay, through a channel or whatever, in case of fail-safe. Well, so a pretty good machine. I like out of the box. How is it? It sounds very a small new reference in 130 categories. Wow. Now I will install a CPPM receiver, probably the FierceSky, or I don't know, or maybe this one. It will depend on my mood. Okay, and I will show what are the basic default CleanFlight configuration coming with this tarot. As I say, to install to your PC software your tarot, first of all you will need to to take your USB device. I'm not sure it's a FDDI device or compatible one, but you need to insert this cable to the port, and it's blocked by the standoff. So we need to remove it. It's an M2 screw, so okay, do it gently. It's a little bit annoying, but if you don't tune a lot of regularly your quadcopter, okay, it's not a big problem. You can fly it, testing it without the standoff, and as soon as you will be sure of your result, you can remove it and reinstall it. So now you will be able to install your connector, okay, and plug to your PC. Okay, it's done, and let's have a look to the default factory setting of this tarot. Okay, so I will plug the tarot to the computers and then run a clean flight. Good news, the COM13 is seen. Connect, and I will immediately make a backup of the quadcopter. Okay, it's done. Port 1 UART. Actually it's set to a serial. Okay, motor are stop. These are motors, no one shot here, the minimum. S-bus receiver, as I said. Flight time controller loop a lot. You can turn on black box if you want. Okay. Very safe. Enable it to land. PID tunings. Default multi-wheel rewrite. Values. Roll, rate, yaw, TPA. Receiver, not receiver connected yet. Mode, angle mode, above this value. Servo. Coming with a clean flight associated with an ACE board. Okay.